Kawhi Leonard reportedly wants to join the Lakers. A lot of people are convinced LeBron James will sign with the Lakers. Paul George has openly expressed his desire to play for the Lakers. Those stars could form a core capable of challenging the Warriors. But if only one of LeBron and George signs in Los Angeles and the Spurs won't trade Leonard there, that lone Laker could be stuck on a middling team still too young to compete. Who will blink first? Adrian Wojnarowski, Windhorst and Ramon Shelburne of ESPN, as LeBron James remains hesitant to be the first superstar to decide on the Los Angeles Lakers in free agency. Pressure is mounting for the Lakers front office to execute a trade with the San Antonio Spurs to acquire disgruntled All-NBA forward Kawhi Leonard, league sources told ESPN. There's a race to secure Leonard before James is faced with deciding whether to become a free agent on Friday, especially with concern that Oklahoma City's Paul George is no longer assured of signing with the Lakers, league sources said. Another preference by James that could impact free agency, league sources said, is that he wants to make a decision quickly in July free agency. Hope for the LeBron-Kawhi-Paul super team remains alive, but it's contingent on the Spurs, and San Antonio has rebuffed the Lakers' inquiries. However, according to this report, the Spurs are willing to trade Leonard to any team, but are also taking their time. Would they deal Leonard before LeBron decides on his next team? The Lakers, with Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma and Josh Hart, have the assets to spur action, unintended. Even if San Antonio doesn't like those particular players, the overall value could be about right. A third team could take a Laker and send the Spurs a preferable player or draft pick. If Los Angeles gets Leonard, that'd open the door for LeBron. And would George really turn down an opportunity to play on his hometown team with LeBron and Leonard? But if the Lakers can't get Leonard, maybe LeBron goes elsewhere. His player option deadline is Friday, and that's his last best opportunity to join the Rockets. He could also opt out and re-sign with the Cavaliers or sign with the 76ers or any other team. At that point, George might just prefer to stay with the Thunder. The Lakers are at the center of the NBA universe once again, and their success or failure here will alter the entire league landscape. The stakes are high, and time is running out. Everyone answers to someone. In the case of NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, that is the owners of the 30 NBA teams. Silver has a lot of power. He can influence and persuade owners, but at the end of the day he works for them and at their pleasure. Right now, they're happy. Silver's contract was just extended through the 2023-24 season. It was announced out of the NBA Board of Governors meeting this week. Silver has worked for the league since 1992, at first as legal counsel, and eventually working his way up to deputy commissioner under David Stern. Silver became commissioner when Stern stepped down in February of 2014. Silver has gotten mostly positive reviews. Since he got the big chair, the NBA has agreed to a new collective bargaining agreement with the players' union in a process that was less acrimonious than in previous efforts, and avoided a lockout. Under Silver, the NBA also negotiated a massive new television deal that has boosted revenues for players and teams. He has the league both growing globally and being seen as active and progressive on social issues in the United States. The owners know when they a good thing and locked Silver up with a new deal. Paul George has expressed affection for Oklahoma City and Los Angeles, but he can sign with only one team this summer. George, via ESPN, being a free agent is overwhelming. It's a lot of things that go into it. Trying to find the right fit. What's the best place for me to raise my kids? A lot is playing into this, so it's a bit overwhelming. I hope I make the majority of the people happy. But ultimately, it's my decision, and I want to be the happiest I can be with that decision. And I'm excited. I'm excited to go through this journey. Kevin Durant, the ultimate people-pleaser, went into his 2016 free agency stating a need to be selfish and separate himself from Russell Westbrook while considering options. Durant didn't fully abide by that, but at least he set a tone. There are 30 teams in the NBA. About 29 of them won't be happy with George after this summer. Even if he picks the Lakers and their large fan base, the math is working against him. If George reconciles that, maybe he won't find free agency so stressful. Mavericks extended qualifying offers to Doug McDermott, Yogi Ferrell and Salah Mejri. Would any of those players accept the not-so-fast Doug? Zach Lowe of ESPN, in a quick turnaround, the Mavericks have withdrawn their qualifying offer to Doug McDermott, league sources say. They still have interest in retaining him, but this makes it easier to clear his $10 million cap hold. Also makes him an unrestricted free agent, broadening his market. Zach Lowe, at Zach Lowe. NBA, June 27, 2018. The Mavericks obviously feared McDermott accepting his $4,333,932 qualifying offer and eating into their cap space. I wonder whether they'll also pull Ferrell's $2,919,204 qualifying offer before he accepts it. If they decline Dirk Nowitzki's $5 million team option, waive all their unguaranteed players and renounce all their free agents, the Mavericks would open about $30 million in cap space. That'd go a long way in this market. Surely re-signing him with a room exception or to a minimum salary. Dallas has been linked to DeAndre Jordan, DeMarcus Cousins and Julius Randle. Obviously, center is a priority. The Mavericks draft and night trade for Luka Doncic expedited their timeline. Doncic was the best current player in the draft, and Dallas relinquished its top 5 protected 2019 first-rounder to the Hawks. The Mavericks are better positioned and more incentivized to win next season. McDermott is a good three-point shooter, but also a defensive liability without much of an all-around game. He's fine, and Dallas might still re-sign him. But he's not good enough to sacrifice flexibility on when the Mavericks can aim much higher. The simplest knock on Becky Hammon's head coaching candidacy, the Spurs rated her at least 4th in the hierarchy of their assistant coaches. Ray Messina, James Borrego and Ime Udoka sat on the bench, a more prestigious position. Hammon was relegated to behind the bench. But, with Borrego leaving to become the Hornets head coach, Hammon will fill that hole on her resume. Spurs release. The San Antonio Spurs today announced that assistant coach Becky Hammon has been promoted. Hammon fills the position vacated by James Borrego. Hammon is on the right track. By all accounts, she performs well in her job. Now, she's getting more responsibility. Succeed in that position, and she'll get even more head coaching looks. She's a pioneer as woman coaching in the NBA, and because of that, her career gets more attention. That sometimes includes calls for teams to hire her as a head coach. Maybe she's a prodigy and ready despite her relatively limited experience. More likely, she'll need time in her new position to become adequately prepared to succeed as a head coach.